This is they call a long centre branch manifold of an MGB sports car. It's a sort of like semi-competition manifold. The original one's a short cast iron thing. So that's the exhaust side of it, and that's the inlet side of it. And the lad's going to be putting a 40 or a 45 Weber carburetor into it, probably a Weber. The bit I'm concerned about is down here where it bolts onto the cylinder head. I'll bring the camera in a little bit closer and let you see what I'm actually up against. The inlet manifold and the exhaust manifold are different heights. That's 10mm and that's 8mm. And the idea, how I made it, was to put a couple of little snots of MIG weld on there and then sort of put a washer and hope for the best. There's two options. I can mill that down to 8mm, which I'd rather not do, or I can weld the manifold up a bit there, put some MIG snot on it and machine that down to 10mm. The outside too don't matter. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 to do. So I think what I'll do is I'll build that area up there with MIG weld, mill the machine and then just mill it flat. Then he can file the ends to make it fit as best possible. He's actually got it fitting onto the head, not too bad. It's just the difference in heights. It's just horrible. I don't like horrible things, and that really is absolutely horrible. Absolutely. So I'll put some weld on there and then we can machine them down. I don't need to build a full face of just a piece there where the big thick washer goes. I'll sort of set them all on. That should do quite nicely. The more I put on, the more I've got the machine off. Well, that looks pretty good. I'll put the filter on the camera on so I can get a quick shot through the lens. I haven't done any kind of video on MIG for quite some time. That's definitely better than a step washer. I was going to mill the slots in there for it to go onto the studs on the cylinder head, but I'm just going to leave it and he can put this onto the head and then just hand file the half round slots in. Then he can get it to fit properly. It is a complete mess, this. I mean, that one's not even touching the table. There must be a 2 or a 3mm gap under there. It will pull down, and like I say, once it's been hot a few times, it will go to the shape it's supposed to be, but it is absolute shite. And these bits aren't even welded on square. It's just what it is, I suppose. In the day we used to fit John speed manifolds, and they were good in comparison to this. It is stainless, I suppose, be a cheap grade of stainless. It's not magnetic, or very slightly magnetic, so it is a cheap grade of stainless. It's exactly what it is, I suppose. That's in a silly casting, quite a nice little manifold. I actually put the threads in there quite some time ago for that's the servo takeoff. It's just what it is. It'll go well with a 45 Weber on this. They went quite well with twin SUs on in the day. World's long stroke B series engine, bags of torque, basically brick shit out of an engine, but old and dated. This piece of aluminium plate's marked out for some holes. There's 4 6mm holes to drill and tap and a 77mm hole to bore in the centre. It's quite a common job on the lathe where you've got to set up something to bore a hole to a centre pop mark or a centre punch mark. So I've roughly set the chuck up, so that's roughly the centre there. Now if I put a 77mm hole in, the tool will hit that chuck jaw there, so what I need to do is put a spacer in to space it out. I've got some bits of tool steel here that'll make nice spacers. In fact that's a little bit too big diameter. I want something sort of half that thickness. I'll see what else I can find. Doesn't matter what they are, as long as they're the same size. Right, here we go. That's perfect. 5mm double pin would be ideal. So that goes into there. Then our part sits onto that, and that spaces it away from the back of the chuck. What we need to do is kind of hold that position where we're putting that one in. So I'm going to bring the tailstock centre in. John, man. Right, so that's kind of in the middle anyway, that's where we need it to be. So what we can do now is bring these jaws in till they're just touching. Back this off. But one can go in. Top one goes in like that, and we're weighing this in. We've got the 2 spacers in there. We'll leave them in there to get it set up. Nip these 2 jaws. Right, so we've got it held there up against those 2 spacers. Now we need to dial it in to make sure it is going to be running on centre. Spinners doesn't look too bad. So what I'll do is put a centre into that hole, bring a centre up behind it, and I can put a clock gauge on there, and that gives a direct reading of how far out of tooth that actually is. But I'm definitely going to order some magnets off eBay to make this job simpler. The closer to this end you have the dial gauge, the wider it is. But basically that's within kind of 1/4 thou. I'll bring the camera around so you can see it. do it. Right. Right, that's a good start. We'll board it from there. When you're using a 4-jaw chuck with 1 jaw sticking out, you want to make sure you've got clearance. That's where it's going to hit on the saddle there. And we have got clearance, it's a good 1/2 inch. And the boring tool is right through the plate, so we know we're going to be alright clearance wise. Right, I've changed the boring bar for a one that seems to cut aluminium a lot better. The cut aluminium is, it tends to weld itself to the tip and then it doesn't cut properly like it's done there. It sort of sticks. It's horrible stuff, I don't like it. It's got its uses. We want 77, so there's quite a bit more to come out of there yet. Right, what a bit of a glitch with the camera there. So now we're on 77 dead basically. Happy with that part of it. Now that the 4 holes to drill and tap, just going to take the rag off there. Right, the tapped holes, I'm just going to hold this by hand, each with a set of mole grips, that's all it needs. We'll spot them first, then drill them, then tap them. Bastard! Well, you need 3. You need 3 hands. I won't have Deborah to help us. Right. That's it. You keep on doing.
I can't keep it down.
Right. The next one. You put the next one underneath there. The next one under there.
What's the next one?
Like that. Right, and then just hold it nice and I'll forward. Right, I'm going to go the other way. Right, I'll just change the room for you, Pat. What's the matter?
On the black.
Black.
Yeah, black.
See, kind of line just sell up. We're going backwards. There's another digger we're buying here. We are doing pick this drill up. And I always get a big lump in my throat as well every time I pick it up. There you go. Another job finished off nicely. Once again, it's just time to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It does make a massive difference, and we're all getting near to 100,000 subscribers. Anyway, thanks for watching.